intro for the documentaries.
Documentary. How's that?
I kind of like that.
Yeah, I just wrote that.
Take back the night.
Is that Ron Burgundy's?
Yes.
Nice.
Well, this is our untitled
Nice.
Well, this is our untitled documentary segment where we talk about a documentary that we watched. This month we watched one called Out for Blood in Silicon Valley. Did it have another title with that as well? Was it called
The Inventor.
The Inventor,
Yeah,
Out
The
for
Inventor,
Blood
yeah.
in Silicon Valley. And it was an HBO special that they put out. And the synopsis, it follows basically named Elizabeth Holmes, who...
You're using the word lady.
Yeah.
She's a lady.
I think there's some genius and brilliance with her. I really do.
Yeah, absolutely.
And what she had, I'll just kind of give you an idea of what it went over. She had an idea where instead of... basically, she wanted to change healthcare, and her idea was why change healthcare. And her idea was why don't we do the same amount of testing that we do when you take a needle and draw blood, and use a less amount of blood to find the same testing. Let's build a machine that can do all this for it, and put it in places like Walgreens and.
Which is a fantastic concept.
It's an amazing idea. She just wanted to make healthcare more affordable and get it.
Question:
Mm-hmm.
Do you honestly believe that was her goal from the get-go?
I think that was her. Watching this documentary, I think that was her best intentions originally.
You believe her heart was to make this as easy as possible?
No.
No.
I think her original goal was I have this.
Possible?
No. I think her original goal was I have this idea. Why can't we do more testing with a limited amount of blood?
I disagree.
You disagree with that?
I do.
Okay.
I think that her whole motivation was to be famous and to invent something and to be Edison of this generation, regardless if she was building a fart in a box. That's what her goal was, to be famous.
Well, she achieved that.
That's my goal.
I think I agree with you. I mean, I think she just wanted to be the next Steve Jobs.
No, a great idea.
I think it was a great idea that everyone told her was incredibly.
Professors were saying
this is a bad idea.
Yeah. I mean, the idea of it, that you're putting a lab inside of a box, is a fantastic idea.
Well, let's talk about this. Let's talk about the documentary itself first. As the documentary was shot, and we've seen a bunch now, do you think just overall it was a good documentary?
No.
Do you think just overall it was a good documentary?
No.
It was missing some stuff. I didn't get any, because the whole time I'm watching this documentary, I was looking stuff up about her.
Right.
Okay.
So obviously the documentary ain't giving me everything I need if I'm going to secondary sources to find information about her. Who is her? Who are her friends? Does she have people that she was actually close to?
How'd she get that much power so quickly?
Well, this guy's a friend of the family.
Yeah.
Dianne Feinstein's a friend of the family. She was a rich girl.
Yes.
Growing up.
Yep.
And she went to college, had her way bought through college. We don't know. I sounded like Trump there. Could have been. We don't know.
But the other thing is, she was very smart. So theoretically, she probably had scholarships and all that stuff to get through that. We're not questioning her intelligence in this thing, because she's brilliant at doing something.
Right.
Yeah, but I didn't like the documentary itself.
No.
And
they just did not give you any background.
Yeah, and I wasn't finding myself watching other things or looking at it. I watched this intently because it's in the media. There's going to be a trial, I'm assuming, coming up soon.
She's already been. She kind of took a plea. I did read on that. She kind of got a slap on the wrist, to be honest with you. Of course.
Well, that's the way it happens. But
$500,000 fine, and she can no longer serve on a board of a Fortune 500 company.
Oh, she'll find other things to do. She'll become a speaker about it.
She's gonna be okay.
Yeah,
she's gonna be just fine.
Well, and in the end, were there people that were really hurt by this?
That's hard to quantify. Because they were given results and things like that. Right. So they could have potentially killed people.
They could have, yes.
And maybe they did, and we just don't know.
The one warning I would give for anyone that wanted to watch this, and I hope everyone does watch this actually, is if you don't like needles, there's a few parts where you need to look away. If you can't watch blood being drawn, there's certain where they really go slow-mo. up close of that process, and I got a little uncomfortable.
I can't watch that. When they take blood from you, you have to turn away?
I can watch myself get, but I can't watch you two get
Really?
blood. Isn't that weird?
I can watch you give blood, but I can't watch it come out of my own.
I can't watch any of us.
I pass right out when I watch it come out of my own arm.
Going back to, you also said, did this hurt anybody? And I think you can't quantify that too, because I had so much hope for this with the amount of blood that I give, and so it hurt me because I'm like, no.
I understand, but what I'm saying,
how many millions of dollars were squandered on this?
900 million.
That could have went somewhere
that could have
else.
gone to real medical research.
Right.
But the framework of the documentary is, here is this Edison, and that Edison tried so many times before he succeeded. That's my dickweed neighbor. Sorry, guys. He tried so many times, and they're setting you up, and you got to think that if that's her hero, she's naming the box, that she's going to keep faking it till she makes it.
He did with the light bulb.
And exactly. I mean, and that goes into it. But there's an behavioral economist. There you go. Thank you, Russell. On there, that the guy that had the guy that had the weird beard.
Yeah, the half beard.
Yeah, the half beard.
I wondered what that was. Okay.
But what he was saying is that
obviously he's some kind of burn victim.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah,
because I've seen pictures of him without the beard altogether.
Well, the way he was shot, I never knew what was
I don't know.
But that doesn't take away from
But, oh, he is.
Yeah.
Okay, well, sorry.
Now, it is weird. If you're going to have that, bless his heart, it's terrible that happened to him. Don't grow a half beard.
Yeah, sorry, I wasn't trying to be, I was like, why does he got the half beard?
Yeah.
He says that we cannot judge the end of a movie without knowing where the movie begins. Okay, so I think that what they're telling you in the documentary is that you got to understand her whole story, not just see what she's done to people. I call bullshit on that because I don't believe that her heart was good at all.
I don't think that we saw any of her story.
No.
I wanted to know what she was like. Okay. You guys know how I key in on voices and dialect and things like that? The second she opened her mouth, I went, holy shit.
Yeah. You didn't expect
and I
that
paused,
voice from that woman.
I paused that. No, I didn't say that.
Oh.
I paused that documentary because that voice was not natural.
Right. She's
it
acting.
was absolutely not natural.
Right.
I was like, this lady is not talking in her real voice.
Well, she was void of any emotion the whole thing.
Yeah, well,
there's no emotion.
Well, it's because she had done some studying on what does a powerful woman
supposed to talk.
What does a powerful woman sound
She was
like?
a female Randy Savage.
Yeah, well,
Macho Man.
Well,
Ooh,
it was
yeah.
and they've proven that women with lower register voices and who speak slower patterns were based off of what she considered a person that would be respected and powerful.
Right.
Everything she did was just copying off Steve Jobs.
From get-go, that's all she did.
Yeah, so
outfit,
which told
lack
me
of showering.
Which told me I was and never blinking. She never blinks.
Didn't you think that honestly, didn't you look at her and go, I bet she stinks?
I don't know about all that, but
dandruff.
She did seem kind of messy all the time, but I think she was purposefully messy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that genius messy.
Yeah.
She was playing a character. She wanted everyone to believe that I think she was an incredible con woman.
Yeah, I agree.
How awkward was it watching her dance to Can't Touch This?
Oh my God.
It's like a robot trying to show emotion. I'm like, that's hard to watch. That's like, if you were in that audience, part of them trying to hype everyone, she started doing that, I'm like, oh, this would be so
Have you ever been a part of a company that does hype like that? Because I've never been a part. And it was like, and you come out with this can't touch this.
It was
right
awesome.
after you just got, you're getting buried in the media right at the moment. And what are you guys thinking? Then you have the audacity to film it.
Yeah, that's the other thing. I'm like, how did they get this footage?
She was. I'm telling you,
she's involved in the making of this. I think.
You think so?
She did interviews for it?
Well, I don't know. I think all of her interviews were stocked interviews
you think
from
so?
other. Yeah, from the guys from the New York Times.
Okay.
That was my biggest problem with this documentary. We never had one-on-one questions directed at her, other than that was the Forbes documentary that they'd stolen from.
Well, yeah, but I mean, they were never gonna.
that they'd stolen from.
Well, yeah, but I mean, they were never gonna. She was never gonna agree to come on camera for any of this stuff.
No,
Yeah.
absolutely.
I did find online some clips of her real voice.
Is it different?
Oh, really?
Yeah, because every now and then in an interview, she'll screw up and start talking, and she sounds like a normal girl.
So it was all an act. Then.
Girl, like a woman.
Girl.
Sounds like a girl. You know,
I said-
kind of that Valley girl, which is where she's from.
For me, I said that the problem with the documentary was that I felt like the documentary was trying to make me feel sorry for this smug asshole.
Well, they started
Did you
out showing
think
the
that
good.
way?
I did think that.
They started out showing the good side of her, like, hey, this is a great idea, and let's watch her develop it. And I felt that way too. It's like,
Well, I think they're backing her up with, look, Edison was the same guy who is a national hero, a historical hero.
Well, and he was faking it.
And he
Yeah,
was faking
he was
it.
faking it.
And
Just
she
like-
just never made it.
I kind of like that part of the documentary because it's not just going so much one-sided. I hate it when there's like, okay, we're just going to lean all the way to the right, or the right, or left.
I'm fine with
I
that.
I think the whole. Okay, so I saw a lot of parallels to this between this and Firefest.
Yeah.
That documentary that we watched about
Yeah.
Firefest, because that's what that guy was going to do. He was going to fake it till he made it and just try to figure it out at the end and hope that it all comes together. And it just, none of it was coming together. And instead of admitting, hey, some of this isn't coming together, he would just go all in even more. Oh, let's get a yacht.
Yeah.
What should we do? Let's throw a giant party.
Right.
And that's kind of what she did. And then that board of directors that she put together is like a who's who of powerful white old men.
And they were eating what she was feeding.
Well, she specifically targeted powerful white old men who had no science background.
Right.
Because anybody with a science background is going to say, how does this work? And then she's going on media and talking about, well, we can't. You don't have any.
Right.
You never did.
Right.
It's just, it was all, and I think that's what she was doing. She was going to invent this thing. She wanted to be the next Steve Jobs, but the problem is Steve Jobs became Steve Jobs after he invented the
Absolutely.
Apple computer.
Not because
Before.
of who he was.
Make it till he made it.
Right.
He made the damn thing, and then
He
some
made
of
it.
his other stuff that they were trying to innovate and do, they probably did fake it for a while.
Right. Right.
Some of the stuff these iPhones were supposed to do 3 or 4 years ago still don't really work right. You
Right.
know what I mean? So I don't know, but I just
Well, and she kept digging herself into the hole because, like, they'd be. She kept digging herself into the hole because, like, they'd be. Okay, the Edison's working. They
Throw a
can do
party.
these. They can do these 10, 15 tests.
no,
She's
we're
like,
doing 200.
Yeah, no, we're going to do 250 and we're going to do a la carte pricing. And they're like, you can't get all that solution in there for all. You can't dilute the blood that. And what really upset me is when she actually started pulling vein blood and intravenous IV. How upset would that make people?
Yeah. When he came to. Well,
Yeah, and then when they go from the lab 1 results to the Edison results, they never matched right. Like, man.
Well, and she was trying to make it seem like she had come up with this scientific technology.
And she had.
And all she was trying to do was build a machine
Make it
that
smaller.
to recreate
To do
what they
it.
were doing. They could have created one the size of a refrigerator
That's what the guy says. Like,
that would have worked.
He's like, if it didn't have to be 2 foot by 2 foot, if I could have the size of a Volkswagen, we could have made this work. And that's where it just is so upsetting.
Yeah.
And he told us
Because she didn't care.
No.
No, I want to, revolutionize it.
So if I can't, I just want to rant for 1 minute
Rant.
because.
Revolutionize it.
So if I can't, I just want to rant for 1 minute
Rant.
because I'm very
Rant on,
upset
brother.
because I think now no one can really take her idea and roll with it because I think she has all these patents on this.
But maybe that's the
intellectual-
way she gets out of it, gets a little money in her pocket by
If
selling it.
That's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping more people watch this, and someone smarter than me can be like, we can probably make this. Because I think the idea behind it is amazing.
Right.
So, because I get blood so often, they have to use what's called butterfly needles on me because my veins roll.
Oh.
And I just have a problem giving blood. So when I read about this in 2013, I was ready to invest. Like, it had my money if I had any, but I didn't, obviously. And thank God I did not. But if you could do that, all the people on dialysis or just,
Yeah.
it could just revolutionize and change medical, and she just squandered it. And had the backing of, like you said, all the rich, powerful white men and all the money practically in the world. They were ready to buy in if she just would have slowed down. And that's what I'm getting worked up thinking.
I think it's hilarious that the story of her is every Ben Stiller movie I've ever seen. That one lie just goes to the next lie.
Yeah.
that goes to the next
Can't
life.
keep
When
up.
if you just would have told the truth in the first part, you wouldn't have had a movie, but you wouldn't have had the adventure either. You know, so that's what I kept thinking is, at what point did you not just go?
Well, and I'm wondering if this documentary, the people that really watch it, if it's going to affect other startups in the Valley. Because
Right.
it kind of peeled it showed the wizard behind the curtain. It's like these guys, they're all faking it. I mean, not everyone's going to be an Uber. Not everyone's going to be a Lyft or a Bird or,
Right.
whatever.
You've been watching too much Silicon Valley. That's what you're saying.
I have seen that, yes.
Yeah.
Which is frustrating too. So I don't know. I'm not a fan of Elizabeth Holmes, and that's all. I won't call her what I called her one day, but
That was not pretty language.
not.
It was not church appropriate.
she's a jerk face, is what I'll call her.
Yeah.
But I would recommend anyone that everyone knows someone's sick.
So you're saying
I would recommend this documentary. To
you
anybody.
that the documentary wasn't very good, but you would recommend it because of the content.
I would absolutely recommend it because of the content.
I agree with that. But the story that it's telling, the cautionary tale, is very, very strong. And I would recommend it to a lot.
Or there's the one guy sitting there that watches it that's younger than us, has a better mind. It's like, I can make that work. That's why I want to watch this.
I'm worried though
Yeah.
that it's gonna bring about compassion for somebody who shouldn't get it.
I don't think so.
I
I
don't
don't think
think- yeah.
anybody's bleeding. I did not have any compassion for her whatsoever.
I felt. I mean, not. I was going like, okay, I understand the idea of sometimes you just have to keep working at it, and even if you're dishonest about it,
Right.
because they're going to shut you off if you don't.
But what Russ
get
and
it.
I do every day
She
is...
wasn't working at it though.
No.
She was
Yeah,
not
that's
working
true.
at it.
See, Russ
She
and
was
I, we do
not-
the opposite. We undersell and overdeliver.
Do
Is
you?
what we do. And
Yeah,
she
that's-
did the opposite thing.
Yeah.
We can't
I've
do that
always done
estimate.
that opposite thing. I
Yeah.
always overpromise
No,
and
she
underdeliver.
what she
Yeah.
did, she went to somebody initially and said, "What would it cost to build this?
Right.
How much money?" And they said, $500 million. And she goes, "Okay, let's raise that $500 million."
Okay.
Okay, well, we're going to raise the $500 million. That's not your real voice.
You know what bugged me?
I keep hearing her in my head, and both of those impressions were horrible.
Yeah, it was not even close.
Those are bad.
Are there not? Are they?
I can't do it either, but those are really...
I don't even know how she was talking. You know,
That
who she
was- that
kind of
was better.
reminded me of
That was better.
when Jim Carrey would do Venus de Milo. That's who she kind of reminded
that.
me of.
Yeah.
She's a strong, healthy woman.
One of the things that I kept seeing in the documentary was they kept walking in front of the wall where they had painted a quote from Yoda.
Yes.
There is no try, there's only do. Oh, guess what? There's try because that's all. Oh, guess what? There's try because that's all. That's all you did. You never did. So I just thought that was hilarious.
Well, and honestly, let's thank the whistleblowers that kind of came out.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, they were kind of forced because they were getting threatened. So, but if they wouldn't, she'd still be doing something and being reckless with people's health.
Yep.
And I'm pretty sure she murdered the former head of the science. They're
Died.
saying that he killed himself.
Suspicious suicide.
I think that he was going to come forward and say all that she's doing is bullshit. There's no real science here.
Now we have a
when
movie
you start
right
talking
here.
about real science, all of a sudden this guy disappears.
Because that one young kid that was an engineer got roughed up with his grandpa in the room. Remember
Right.
that? They had
Right.
to separate. So, yeah, who knows? Who knows what people with that much money are capable of?
Well, yeah. I mean, unlimited resources.
Yeah. So I'm going to say, hey, if you're out there thinking I want to watch this, go watch this, definitely. Russ, what about you? Do you recommend it to
Yeah,
everybody?
don't ever watch Leaving Neverland
No.
Yes.
and watch this film.
Yes.
Yeah, and I'm saying I don't think it's a good documentary, but you got to see the content of it.
Yeah.
It's something you need to see.
So what's our pick for next month? What are we looking for?
We haven't even talked about that. I'm this Apollo 11
Okay, yeah.
or guys, we're doing this live. Sorry, Apollo 11 or
I
the
thought you had one about a war documentary. last time we shot down to do this.
they will not grow old. They shall not grow old. They will not grow old. They shall
Yeah.
not grow old.
I want to see that.
I want to see that
Let's
too.
do that.
Okay, because I was talking with a buddy. His name is Michael Wiedmeyer.
Uh-huh.
And him and his wife went to the Alamo Draft House and saw it. And I had seen some people were saying, yeah, it's a Peter Jackson film, and he redid a lot of the colorization and stuff.
Yeah.
that Mike was telling me about, and I was like, "Are you serious?"
Yeah,
that
it
one.
looks
I did
fantastic.
not know they did
Yep,
that.
it
And so
looks really
I don't
good.
want to give any spoilers away. I want to watch it and stuff, and then share it with everybody.
What's
but yeah,
the name of that again, guys?
They shall not
They
grow
shall never
old.
grow old.
So
They shall
June
not grow old.
They
2019.
shall not grow old.
Shall not. It's something like that.
Yeah,
Well, we'll be reviewing that next
Stodgy.
month in June.
Shall not. It's something like that.
yeah,
Well, we'll be reviewing that next
Stodgy.
month in June. So stay tuned for that one.
yeah. It looks real good.
Real good.
Real good.
Good.
Real good.
Russell's very excited about this, as you can tell.
Yeah, that one I'm excited about.
Yep.
Thank you.
Okay.
Finally.
All
Thanks
right.
for
That
listening.
sounds good.
We'll talk to you later.